Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 2nd of August 2017. Right, okay, how is your August going already? It's such a crazy energy. I really need to take time to proper sit and tap in, but it was after 11 when I finished last night. Anybody who I said that I was going to send an email to, there were a couple who I read for you yesterday. I haven't forgotten, I just didn't have time last night, so I will get them out at some point today. Okay, so please don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. But yeah, the energies are crazy and I'm feeling it. But we've got the lunar eclipse as well, haven't we, this week? Yeah, on the 7th, I think. And eclipse season, anything could happen, so it's exciting. It is, but it's like I say, there's it's sort of sitting there with anticipation to see what comes up. So I'm using the Tarot Apocalypses this week, as many of you know. Now these cards are very powerful. I don't use them in traditional readings because they just they really take it out of me, but they're fabulous, and I'm surprised at the amount of majors that we've had that come out with them. So like I say, it's a very important time, I feel. When I picked the card this morning, I instantly started channeling, so I have made notes on what was coming through. Okay, so I'm going to read them along with whatever comes through with it. But yeah, wow, it's just just wow. So the first card that I pulled is the High Priestess. And what I was told today is that the High Priestess is here to unlock the mysteries of the universe. She's standing at the doorway and she's saying, are you ready to come through? Are you ready to tread this path, sort of thing? So with the High Priestess, what this is saying is that it's like, you can shut your ears off if you don't want to hear. You can shut your eyes off if you don't want to see. But you cannot close your soul off to this initiation. She's there, she's coming. It's like, the time is now with this. And what she's saying is your soul knows that it's time. The High Priestess knows this, because the High Priestess knows that is what she does. She instinctively knows. This isn't coming from books. This isn't coming from anything like this. This is secret knowledge that the High Priestess has, and this is what she wants to pass on. So she's saying that you've come so far now, so you can't go back. It's like, you've seen, so you've had a little glimpse, and going back is just not possible. This is about going forward and stepping into the unknown, and what you must do, they said, with this is, it is now time to unlearn rather than learn. So it's about forgetting what you've learned, forgetting these structures that you've been built up and that have sort of, all right, this is how I'm supposed to do it. It's letting them fall away here. And it's now time to remember what you have forgot. Okay? Your heart and soul, if we have a look at her heart there, which is where the pomegranate that she's holding, it's ripe, it's juicy, and it's saying that your heart and soul are now ready to unravel the mysteries of you and the mysteries of this wonderful universe that you chose to inhabit. That's what they said. You chose it. You chose this life that you're getting. You signed that soul contract before you came here, and you said which lessons that you needed to learn. Okay, so don't, when things are going bad, you cannot turn around and blame the universe or blame spirit or anything like that. You signed up for this long before you were born, So this is saying that you chose to inhabit the world that you're living in and to learn the lessons that you're going to. So it's a beautiful thing, this. And what this is saying is that once you do this, once you let everything fall away, you will be vulnerable, okay? Quite Virginia-like, actually, as well. It's like being born again. You might be filled with trepidation. It's sort of like, whoa, what's going to happen? But you're intrigued at the same time. And this is it. It's because the time is now, Everything happens in divine timing, and your spirituality will be sparked. It could be a tiny thing somebody says. It could be something you read. It could be a horrific disaster that you encounter. But it's at the right time, all of the time, that you actually start to see these signs. And then it just unravels and unravels and unravels. So this is saying that you are now on the journey to your true self, to remembering who you are before the world told you who you should be. You will hear the voice of spirit, and all it will do is sing your song back to you, because all you have done is forgotten the words. You know it. Everything that I teach you, everything Spirit send through me, everything any teacher does, you know, anything that anybody who is, you know, this is called the occult. The occult is just secret. It's secret knowledge. It's nothing dark. It's nothing bad. It is filled with light, you know. But all they're doing is teaching you what you've forgot. And this is how sometimes when it happens, you think, right, okay, that makes sense. It's because you're remembering. And this is how sometimes when you meet somebody, you feel like you've known them years. And that's because they have been part of your soul tribe. So everything starts to make sense. It makes no sense at all, but it makes so much sense. You know, that's a great, there's a wonderful album I love called, it's one of my favourites, called The Love Chronicles by Al Stewart. It's a really, really old album. And I was giving it to somebody who, when I look back now, was a huge, huge teacher in my life. I was about 11 years old and I was given this album by a friend's father. And when I look back at now, some of the things he taught me, it was like, wow, he was a massive teacher, you know. So this, at the time, it made no sense, but, you know, that was the beauty of it. And this is saying, don't be afraid of this, okay? It might look dark, but it's not. It's beautiful, you know. And it's saying that, you know, you are about to be given a gift that will, like, you know, go way above your wildest dreams here. The veil of illusion that you've been hiding behind is being pulled apart. You are seeing things as they are. You are seeing things as you are as well, you know. And a secret may be revealed, but this secret isn't going to be bad. This secret is going to free you, you know. You will see untruths. You will see where you have been surrounded in untruths. You know, you will see that you know, you've lived by them, you know, and that is how you've sort of just gone along and gone along. You know, you will notice this. And suddenly, yes, everything seems unknown, but there's also this excitement. Things feel different. You know, you start to see things in a different way. You feel them. You start to tap into your feels. You get out of your head and you get into your feels, you know, and that is when you really, really start living. And what this is saying as well is you will discover truths about yourself and about the world that you never even knew existed. You never even questioned them. And often this comes when you are in the depths of midnight. Yesterday we talked about the moon, you know, and how the darkness was consuming people and how people were scared and everything like that. But this is showing you, the high priestess is coming to show you the gifts that darkness has given you. And if we have a look at these little beautiful, beautiful lights. You know, they're like fairy lights. They're guiding your way. They're guiding your way up this staircase out of the darkness, you know. So this is it. So within the depths of midnight, you will see the light. And revelations will come because things are about to be revealed. The high priestess always comes with revelations, you know. She's not going to reveal everything all at once for you because Spirit said to me this morning, where's the fun in that? You know, if I just give you the answers to the universe or they just give me them, where would the fun be? The fun is in the learning or the unlearning, you know. So there's so much potential coming through with this card. There's so much potential for you when you dive into that place that is, you know, that is unknown, that is untouched, that is untried, you know. It's such a beautiful, it's like an initiation, this. And your inner wisdom will be freed. You will know truths that you've always known, but you had them locked away in this little cupboard sort of thing, you know, in the back of your mind, and you didn't venture there. But the high priestess is holding you the key to much more, you know, to unlock these things that you forgot, to unlock this new world for you, to unlock this world of spirituality where you inhabit it and you can speak to Spirit in the same way I do, you know, because that's it. We all can. People say, I get messages of people, they say, you're gifted. I'm not gifted at all. I just accepted what was offered and I surrendered and I said to them, right, okay, you know, show me what you've got. And they did, you know, and everybody, and I'm sure, and I believe this 100%, that I can teach anybody to tap into spirit in the same way, you know. I'm not special. I don't have a gift. They didn't choose me out of all these thousands of people, you know. I just followed the signs, and this is where it led me. So like I say, you know, I appreciate the messages I get off people saying that it's a gift, but it's not. I'm just a telephone line. I'm the messenger. They speak to me and I give it out to you in my voice. That's it. You know, nothing special about that. I just learned to listen. You know, that's all I did. And I learned so much. I read umpteen books and hundreds of books, but Spirit teach me on a daily basis, even when I'm doing these cards. Spirit teach me every day, so it's a constant learning, you know. But this is when I chose to forget everything that I'd learned, you know, up until that point when I went through the door with the High Priestess. So what they say is your wisdom will come out with this. And a lot of times with spirituality, it's a very, people think you've got to wear yoga pants, you've got to drink green tea, you know, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. It's all rubbish, you know, all rubbish. That is all self-show. That is all, do you know what I mean, to do with the ego. It's great wearing yoga pants because they're comfortable. It's great drinking green tea because it's good for you. But if you're doing that because you're wanting to say that you are spiritual, then, you know, that is coming from your ego. It's not coming from your soul. So there is much more to a spiritual life. And a lot of times, you know, within organised religions and things like that, there is control, which I've talked about before. And religion, they say, is for those that are scared of going to hell. It keeps them in control. It keeps them in check. Spirituality is for those that have been to hell, you know, and this is when they find it. You know, and this is when they come up from the depths and they come up from hell and they've seen the darkness, but they choose to be in the light, you know. So this is the gift you get. You know, this is basically the gift that you get from hell. It's the leaving present. You know, that is what they give you, the spirituality, you know. So it's got nothing to do with what you wear or what you drink. You know, it's got to do with you. So this is saying, the High Priestess wants you to step over this threshold now. You know, it's sort of like, what I'm getting there, it's mad when they said virginal and stuff like that. So, you know, like in olden days, like, you know, when people got married and they were carried over the threshold, you know, and deflowered. that was the word, wasn't it? What a bizarre word. Absolutely bizarre word, that. You know, so this is it. And then, you know, it's like, I don't know what to expect, but you are starting a new life. That's it. You are being carried over the threshold, you know, of this new life. So it's like you are this bride. You know, have fun, you know, have fun with it. You know, you are the star of the show today, whether you are male or female as well. You know, so like I say, this is a beautiful, beautiful card. If we look at it, there's so much light in it. You know, there's light in the darkness. There's this tower that's ready to come crashing down. And like I say, there's the ripeness that is there coming from that pomegranate. And that pomegranate is all about seeds. And this is seeds of fertility. So this is something new growing. This is a new birth. And this is tying in so much with the other cards that we've had. And look, we have the moon there, the very powerful, sort of valuable moon, you know. Because when you come out of the darkness, you realise how important that actually was. So the sun is important, but so is the moon, you know. So like I say, we need to exist with both of them. The Osho card I pulled today is this, and I really, really hate this card, you know, but it ties in so well with this. Like I say, a lot of times the tarot card that I pick will tell you what should happen, sort of thing. The Osho tells you what's happening. You know, this is it. Osho is blunt and it's to the T. And this is, you know, that is not pretty. Not pretty at all. When I look at this card, it's anxiety, it's uneasiness, you know. And this is when we forget that the mind, you know, we are a servant to the mind. We forget that, you know, we are not here to serve our mind. It is there to serve us. You know, we are in control of our thoughts. You know, but the second we let our egoic mind in, you know, the second we give it an inch, it will take over, you know, and it snatches whatever we give it, and it takes over the whole thing, and that is when we get trouble. So if we look at the head in this image, you know, it's full of mechanisms. It's machine-like, you know, it's cold, it's rigid. There's no flow whatsoever going on here, you know. If we have a look at the eyes, one has gone missing completely, you know, and the other one has been replaced by, I don't know, it's like a metal disc, but with a narrow hole. So it only allows us to see a small part of what's going on. The high priestess comes to show us the bigger picture, you know. So this is its left-hand side, this eye. So it's obviously linked with our emotions as well. And it's where have you cut your emotions off? Look at the mouth. It's like you can hear it. And it's like, da, 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 da. You know, and it's like, stop it. You know, stop it. This is coming from your own head. So how can you be silent? You know, it's like everybody's talking at me, but it's you that's talking at you even more. You know, whatever this mouth is saying, it's I don't know, it's abusive. It's like verbal diarrhea. It's horrible. And this is polluting. You know, it is polluting your mind. And look at this, it looks like factory-like. And if you ever walk past a factory, you know, and seen, I once left my car outside of a factory near where I live overnight. And I went back to get it the next day, and there was this horrible, like, silty slime covering my car, you know. And that's it. And it's like, it's getting rid of waste, but that waste comes back to us. And it's like smog, you know, and it's not good for us because we're then taking that back in, and that can actually make us ill. So like I say, it's all of these arguments, it's all of these opinions and everything are going over in your head, and there'll be other people's and there'll be yours as well, you know. And what this has done, it's made the body turn to stone. It's made the body rigid. But there's already cracks starting to appear in it, because when something becomes hard and unmoving and rigid, it also becomes brittle. It's very easy to break, you know. And this is why a lot of the illnesses that we encounter come from our mind. They come from our emotions. They come from our thinking, you know. And like I say, if we are soft, if we are flexible, if we clear this mind, this is when, you know, this is when we can bend with whatever comes. It's not going to say that you're not going to have problems or anything, but you're flexible with them. You move around them, and you don't let them turn you to stone where they can break you, really, you know. So this is about overthinking, and this is what is driving you mad, you know, this overthinking things, overanalyzing. Nothing works. It's like analysis paralysis, you know. When you're analysing everything, you don't take action. It stops you from taking action. You know, your talking stops you from taking action. And it's like all of these mad scenarios going over and over in your head. But if we have a look here, them towers are starting to crumble, you know. They're not built on solid structure. They're not built on truth. So they're starting to crumble. And this is what needs to happen. We need to let them crumble. And this is when we can embrace the gift that the High Priestess is wanting to give us. You know, you are not manufactured. You are not a machine. You know, and at the core of this machine-like life, or this machine-like head, you know, is your ego, your monkey mind. You know, you are not your mind, but your mind is taken over at the moment, and you're allowing it to rule you, and you are allowing it to rule and ruin the moment, you know, that you have. So if you think, this card says, think of the thoughts that go on in your head on a daily basis. From getting up in the morning, your first thought, it's a constant chatter, you know. Sit for a minute and listen to them thoughts. Actually sit as if you are an observer and listen to them. Imagine it's somebody sitting next to you. You know that crazy person that sits on the bus next to you that just talks and talks and talks, and you don't know what they're saying, and they're talking this whole load of rubbish? They're actually saying it out loud. But what goes on in your head? Imagine you are sitting listening to your mind, and see what you think then, you know. Maybe write down for half an hour every thought that goes into your mind, every thought that passes through it, you know. Do this. Don't censor it. Don't edit it. Do it exactly as it comes out. and you will be amazed at the amount of rubbish, you know, that comes spewing out of your mind. It is craziness, you know. You'll understand what I mean, and you'll be so surprised if you actually do this. Because the egoic mind makes us think things are real when they aren't. And this is what causes us confusion. Our soul, our higher self, our knowing self, what that does, it doesn't build towers, it doesn't build machines, it builds dreams and it builds excitement. And if you knew how powerful your thoughts actually were, you wouldn't have a negative one again. You know, because what we think about, we bring about. You know, that is how powerful they are. So if you are thinking all of these crazy scenarios that it's all doom and gloom and the sky is falling in and everything is bad, you will find that your life sort of follows that path. If you think everything is great, you know, and that whatever you're going through, you're going to get through it, and that things will be better on the other side, then they will be. And I'm not saying fill your head with unicorns and fairies and flowers. You know, it's great. Have a little place for them, you know. That's all mine's full of, you know. But I'm also a realist. I see it. And I know that whatever comes, even how bad it is, I know that it will pass. So I don't let my mind go into it. I do sometimes, you know, I forget and my ego kicks in and woof. But I see how down I go. You know, I drop like that. You know, I drop like a fly with it, you know. And that is no good for me. So this is what I'm saying. Be in control of your mind here, you know. Turn your head off and get into your feels, like I've said. Scan your body. Just actually scan down your body. When was the last time you done that? When do you actually tap into your feels? You know, are you filled with tension? Are you filled with ease? You know, think of something from a love base. Think of something that makes your heart burst. You know, it could be a baby, it could be a new animal, it could be a dog. You know, Hendrix, I look at Hendrix and Hendrix he just makes me laugh so much, you know. And I'm coming from a love base and my body is relaxed and it's not tight, you know. But when I think of something that I don't like, something that scares me or something that, you know, doesn't make me feel good, my body tenses up straight away. And that's not good, because when you're tense, then, like I say, that's when you can break. So the message that's coming with this card today is to let go of this fear. Let go of that nonsense that swims around in your head. Let go of anything that you are harbouring in your mind and take back control of it. Okay? Let spirit in. You know, because they are your friend. Your ego is not your friend. Your ego is not your amigo. Spirit will be your saviour. And I'm not saying this on a religious sense, you know, because I'm the most unreligious person going. But I'm saying when you listen to your soul and you listen to spirit and you listen to your true self, this is when you can have the life you want. And that differs for everybody. You know, not everybody will want the same things, and that's great because, you know, we're not all of the same. But at the end of the day, living a life like that, where you are free from this mind chatter, free from this anxiety, is so much better than living a life like this and rigid and where you are constantly in hell. Like I say, the gift of coming out of hell is spirituality. And, you know, you're standing at the doorway, take that gift and move on. And Osho talks about this card, and he says, you know, the egoic thought pattern is like a background in your mind, and it's constantly there, and it surrounds you like a cloud. And with this cloud, you cannot know reality. You cannot have spiritual perception. The cloud has to be dropped, and it is just with your decision to drop it that it will disappear. When you recognise the ego, that's it. It's like, right. If you're clinging to it, the cloud's not interested in you here. It's saying the cloud is not your friend, you know. So like I say, it's up to you. It's what works for you, you know. Because that doesn't work for you. That might be what you're doing, and that might be what you know, because that is the untruths that you have been told, that this is how you should be. But if you drop that, and like I say, let them towers, let them structures of untruths fall, and clear your mind, you will realise that is who you truly are, you know. That is who you truly are, not this, you know. This is the unlearning and the remembering together. The Colette Baron Reid card that I pulled is deep knowing, but in the protection position. So this is it. This is like not tapping in, you're tuning out. You know, when it's that way, it's fantastic. It's very much like the high priestess. It's shown the wisdom, it's shown the hopes and dreams, you know, and it's shown that moon going to daytime, you know. It's shown the light coming in. But when it's like this, it's saying you're in overload, you're taking on too much, you know, and this is making the slightest little thing seem like a mountain, you know, and that's because you're in this space. So this is telling you it's time to recharge, you know. You may need to take a rest before you venture on this journey, you know, because you need to recharge yourself, you know. Look at your energy. Where is your energy depleted as well? You know, this could be from people. You know, people can drain our energy. If we are in situations that make us like this all of the time, the chances are there could be people around us who are very similar and we're attracting their energy. So this is about cleansing yourself first, okay? This is it. It's like take salt baths, use white sage, go into nature, put your bare foot in nature, let everything fall away. Let, you know, Mother Nature take all of the crap that you're carrying around, because you are exhausted and you need to recharge, you know. If somebody is taking your energy, say no thank you, put up boundaries, you know. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. You know, I've got to do it on a daily basis with this work. It's so much. I give what I can, and when I want to give, I will give. But there's got to be a boundary where I say no. You know, that's it. You're overstepping the mark here. Because otherwise, when you give and give and give, you've got nothing left. So it's about self-care and it's about self-love. And too many times we think that our job is to look after others, and that is part of our job. But the main part of the job is making sure that we're okay first. Because if we're okay, you know, then we can make sure other people are okay. If we're not okay and we are just giving and giving, we end up depleted. And then we're no good to anybody. Okay? So this isn't selfishness, you know. This is about self-love. Anything that exhausts you, you need to stop it. You know, and especially this thinking, because it's exhausting being around that, you know. You don't need outside advice at the moment. You don't need to know what direction to go in, because the answers are in you. You know, your internal sat-nav knows. You just need to learn to trust it. And when you have all of this ego shouting with your soul doesn't shout, it just sits back, you know. It watches the ego, and it watches as if like, what are you doing? And you're taking notice of this ego. And, you know, your soul is this little wallflower at the back of the room. You turn your ego off, the soul will step forward, and then it can speak, you know. So this is it. You don't need permission from anybody else to be able to follow your dreams, you know. You need to do that yourself. You need to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be happy. You don't need to look for it from somebody else, or somebody else say, yeah, it's okay to do that. It's okay for you to take that class. It's okay for you to take that trip. It's okay for you to do that. You don't need anybody to do it. You need to give yourself permission. So this is it. It's when you give yourself permission, you get freedom. When you tap into your knowing, you have freedom. You listen to your soul speak through your heart. You know, that constant dialogue that's in your head turns off, and it turns into a gentle nudging of encouragement, saying, yeah, you can do it. I believe in you. You're amazing. Look at what you'll get at the end of it. You know, it's worth it. It's worth it. And that is so much better than all of this crazy, you can't do it, you're useless, you're mad, you're this, you're that, you're that. Do you know what I mean? Who do you think you are? And that is what is coming from your ego, you know. So this is it, you know, get out of your head and into your feels today. Listen closely to your body. Within listening to your body, you will listen to your soul. Your body gives you very clear signs. When you're making a choice or a decision, take a deep breath. Bring yourself into the moment and then look inward. And how do you feel before you make that decision? You know, do you feel tense? Do you feel sort of like enthusiastic? You know? And that is all you need to do. The answers are there, and the High Priestess is wanting to come in today to show you that. You know, that is the gift that comes with her. You know, You need to remember who you are, and you need to remember what you signed up for. You know, so it's beautiful, beautiful cards. They're very heavy. It's like, oh, dear me. I'm so sorry. I really like it when the cards are fun and everything like that. You know, I like that. But I've got to say what comes out, and this is the message that came out with them today. Okay, so I hope that hasn't been a little bit too much, but it's you know, try and take it on board. You might have to listen to this a couple of times, you know, but it's there and the message is strong, I feel. So right, I'm going to pull a spirit card. Listen to your soul and have faith in you, they're saying. Not just faith, have faith in you. Right. So here we have reflection, okay? And this says, reflect upon, bless and be grateful for all the beautiful times in your life. Give thanks for the many blessings you receive each day. You can connect energetically to those you love. Simply feel them inside of your heart. Life is beautiful. And it is. You know, and a lot of us suffer loss. And, you know, there's people that aren't in our lives that we miss. But the thing is, if they're only there, they're only gone on a physical sense. You know, anybody who you've been connected with is still there on an energetic level, you know. And once you open that third eye, you know, once you actually step into that power as well and you step into the light, you know that. So you never really suffer loss. You suffer it on an egoic level, on a 3D level, on a 5D level. You're still connected, you know. And this is where we're trying to get. We're trying to bring that 5D level into our 3D life. Because we know it. And like I say, we know before we are born. We know everything. And then we forget throughout our life. So this is about going back and remembering and reflecting as well. You know? And this is on the good times and the bad as well. Because each one has been a blessing. Whether it be darkness, whether it be light. It has been a blessing and there's been a gift in it for us, you know. And like I say, if we look at this darkness, there is the light in the centre. And that is what we're aiming for. Okay? So I hope that made sense. Please like, share and subscribe if you do. if you don't, then just don't come back. That's fine. And if anybody would want a personal reading with me, I think I have one availability left for this week. I do have emergency readings available tomorrow. I have none more for today. There's they're all gone. So yeah, so if anybody would like a personal reading, please look below this video. The link is below. There's also a donation button as well. Some people have mentioned, you know, somebody called it a tip jar, if I had a tip jar, and I really like that. And there is a donation link as well. You know, people do make donations to these, and that is massively appreciated as well. You don't have to. This is not a forced thing, but the link is there. Somebody was asking where it was, and it is below the video. So the links to all of my social media, my website, booking, everything like that is all underneath this video. But thank you for that today. Thank you for sort of holding space for me with that, because it was quite a powerful one, and I don't know who it was that was coming through, but there was a softness, there was a yeah, I wasn't as hyper as what I normally am. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day, and like I say, check into your feels. You know, they'll teach you so much. Okay, Satnam.